What if I told you that the fairy tale romance between JimJones and Chrissy Lampkin, which social media lauded as relationship ideals, really reeks? It doesn't just smell fishy. It's completely musty emotionally and spiritually. Prepare yourself, because JimJones just took the bandage off a 10-year love wound, and folks, not even a gallon of bleach could clean what's pouring out in a move that nobody, not even VH1 execs, saw coming. JimJones didn't just speak up, he went nuclear, and what he's disclosing is the type of filthy grief that makes love and hip-hop feel like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. We're talking sneaky recordings, twisted allegiance games, guilt techniques on steroids, and Chrissy's relationship was so poisonous that even Instagram attempted to flag the information as emotionally uncomfortable. Thus, the issue is, was Chrissy ever truly in love? Or was this all a protracted scam with red bottoms and channel pearls? Why did JimJones characterize her love as steamy, is stifling and calculated? And more importantly, what proof does he have to justify going this hard? This isn't simply a painful breakup, but an emotional crime scene unfolding in public. So turn off your everyone get your munchies and get ready, because JimJones just unloaded every nasty secret all over Chrissy's beautifully manicured story, and after this storm, there's no press release in the world that's going to heal it. Let's take it from the top. When JimJones and Chrissy first entered our screens, they had the whole culture deceived. Orchestrated fits, luxurious trips, proposals with budget rings that somehow went viral. They were meant to be the pair that made love and hip-hop appear legit, but now JimJones is openly calling it all a lie, a performance, a cunning trap packaged as romance, and fans can't breathe because the illusion is cracking fast. Let's flash back a little. For years, Chrissy Lampkin pitched herself as the ultimate ride-or-die lady who remained by Jim through label fights, street beefs, and the uncomfortable proposal rejection that lived rent-free in VH1 repeats. But Jim claims she was not keeping him down. She was locking him up in what insiders are describing a lethal emotional breakdown given to his closest circle. Jim confesses that the love was never liberated. It was confined. It was dominating. Calculating his words, it was love with a leash, and I wasn't the one holding it. Was founded on mind games, emotional coercion, and affection that came with strings. And this wasn't simply pillow talk gone wrong. Jim said all of this under oath, that is, during a secret deposition related to a separate VH1 related litigation. Jim delivered emotional bombs so big the court stenographer had to ask for a break. One court official characterized his voice as fatigued but finally free. This wasn't testimony. This was a full-blown purging. Let's discuss receipts. Chrissy Lampkin supposedly kept a comprehensive relationship ledger, a real spreadsheet of every cent she ever spent on Jim: travel, clothes, jail money, haircuts, grills, and even whitening trays for his teeth, chronicled with interest. But here's where it gets twisted. She supposedly used the spreadsheet during disputes. When Jim pleaded for space, Chrissy Lampkin allegedly replied 82 on 311 by 47 states, "I'm not going away, this ain't love." This is a beauty influencer doing a hostage negotiation with Excel and lipstick. The title of the documentary series she supposedly shopped around to 3 networks. But guess who she didn't loop in? JimJones. One executive stated, asked, "Is Jim attached to this project?" Chrissy's response is no, but it's my version of events, and that's exactly when the contract fell through. But wait up, this isn't where the problem stops. Lines begin to blur between public controversy and straight-out sabotage, because what occurred next wasn't just shade, it was a courtroom earthquake. Enter Cameron coming into that courtroom like he'd been sent by karma herself. No PR grin, no Hollywood strut, just chilly precision and a file folder marked confidential C+J, with proof so substantial that Chrissy's meticulously maintained empire didn't simply tilt, it began. Yet one courtroom aide described Cameron's entry as a quiet before a legal whirlwind. He wasn't there to help anybody. He came to settle old grudges and provide receipts. When prosecutors opened that folder, everyone froze. First page, a high-resolution bank scan, but not under Jim's name, nor even Chrissy's. It read Pristina Santiago, same date of birth, same address, formerly related to Chrissy's former beauty company, but the account offshore Cayman Islands. The B transaction strange 2550, sometimes 80, all marked as consulting services for a TV corporation that doesn't even exist in any legitimate documents. After the fourth page, a juror begged for a break, no joke, but Cam just got warmed up. He hauled out another bombshell, an invoice trail related to a women's empowerment nonprofit Chrissy Lampkin managed during her purported recovery moment. Cameron legal team produced devastating facts with $190,000 in donor money was reportedly redirected to private enterprises tied to Chrissy's own brand. Chrissy Lampkin appeared to be short-circuiting with a tightened jaw and quivering fingers. Her attorney leaned down and said something, but she didn't. Pristina didn't blink. She simply gazed forward, stuck in the courtroom limelight. And then came the video, a pixelated hotel hallway, Miami, Christy in stilettos, pacing like she just heard terrible news. Phone clamped to her ear and the audio muted. But deadly clear. I warned you, if Cam talks were done, he's got proof and backups. I ordered Jim to shut it down, but he wouldn't listen. Mic drop. The room fell silent. Chrissy's lawyer rushed up with the privacy objection. Prosecution slapped back. The tape was collected lawfully via subpoena. The court let it into evidence because what Chrissy feared was already occurring. Her whole image, the powerful ride or die lady, was unraveling. What replaced it? A portrait of manipulation, dishonesty, and probably fraud. And then the last dagger stepped in. A former VH1 production assistant, we'll call her C, frightened voice shaking but ready to burn it all down. Her first words, Chrissy used to bribe us, sneak cash beneath the table to remove moments that made her seem terrible. I witnessed her threaten. A senior editor once warned him if he broadcast that footage he'd never work again. The jury shivered and Chrissy eventually buried her face in her fists. But C wasn't done yet. She produced bogus invoices and claimed travel expenses for shootings that never transpired. Cam sat motionless in the no emotion, no smear, just ice-cold calm, like a guy who didn't need to say anything longer since the truth was suddenly shouting over the speakers. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, chaos bloggers live broadcasting, Instagram leaking updates every 2 minutes, Twitter on fire, and the cruel memes had Chrissy in tears with the post, "When you bet the house on manipulation, and it goes for closure." Another showed Cameron going out in shades with courtroom cam, reality TV cam. But the most savage one, split photo, left side, Jim and Chrissy smiling during the VH1 years, right side. Courtroom cartoons with the headline "Power Couple" or "Power Scam." And then just when the drama peaked, a black SUV came up to the courthouse's side door. Out stepped Jim, no bling, no security flex, just a hoodie, shadows under his eyes. Calm resolve, he strolled straight past cameras, glided into the courtroom like a ghost returning to the scene, sat behind Cam, arms folded, lips hard. The judge noticed. "Would you like to speak?" inquired, and Jim quietly, calmly answered, "I just want the truth out. I didn't know." 4 words were all it took for Chrissy to up, turn, and mutter something inaudible. Jim didn't reply. Jim walks away on Chrissy in complete quiet, and Chrissy breaks down after Jim's final look. Cameron did not drop bombs. He unleashed a full firestorm, and just when you thought the turmoil had peaked, another piece of evidence was introduced, this time a voice tape from none other than Mama Jones herself, timestamped only last year. The message played quietly, but cut hard. "You think that lady loves you. She loves control. Wake up before you lose your spirit and your cash." Lyrical, harsh, and right to the bone. And guess what? The judge didn't simply nod along. He ordered action, because shortly after that memo, prosecutors hit the hammer, collaborating with federal authorities to look deeper into Chrissy's financial background. That's correct, subpoenas were issued, flying targeting outdated production budgets, nonprofit registrations, and company data stretching back years. Her former business manager was formally under federal examination. If these claims stick, we're talking tax evasion wire. Chrissy sank into her chair. No words, no tears, just a thousand gaze of sheer shock. Cameron stood up, zipped his blazer, and left sans mic. While the public was captivated to every leak, video, and digital flame, Yandy Smith came inside narrative, and she didn't come to spectate, she came to speak loudly. As Yandy takes the stand, new foes emerge from old shadows, and Chrissy's meticulously guarded house of cards encounters the type of wind you can't prevent, because if Cameron's folder was the grand finale, you were mistaken. The courtroom had hardly cooled off when the door slammed open again, and in stepped the name that made Chrissy wince without warning. Yandy Smith. No backdoor sneak in, she stormed. Straight through the front, heels echoing baby hairs, placed folder in one hand, Bluetooth in the other, her expression stone cold. Outside, reporters yelled her name, photographers scrambling, cameras flashed like warning shots. But Yandy looked into one camera and said she had her say. Now it's my turn. Inside, it was already tight. Chrissy Lampkin looked broken, no makeup, hoodie low, face down, like the world was closing and Jim was gone, Cameron was gone, and even Mama Jones had departed the bench. But Yandy was locked in after being sworn in, and her opening sentence hushed the room. I kept my mouth shut for 10 years out of respect, but today I speak to survive. And from there she ignited the match. And Yandy said that throughout the 2013 to 2014 LHA seasons, Chrissy reportedly ran a backstage narrative control ring, which included bribery, threats, pressure on editors, and pressure on producers, all with the intention of flipping the narrative, making Yandy the villain while hiding Chrissy's real-life disaster. One moment came like a gut blow at a reunion taping. I had a panic attack backstage. Chrissy informed production I was being extra for screen time. What she left out, she's the one who told my ex where I'd be so he could corner me. Surveillance captured it, and they edited the tape. Gasps rang around the room. Chrissy blinked once and gazed at the Yandy. Was not even halfway through when she pulled out a printed, timestamped email from Chrissy to a showrunner that stated, "If I look bad, the whole show looks bad. Clean it up." Another Yandy accustomed to blowback. She'll survive. I won't, boss. This wasn't drama. This was black arts PR warfare. And then the burner phone. Yandy's legal team brought over an old phone supposedly used by Chrissy connect with off-the-record insiders during her stint on the program. Enter messages planning false drama, paid feuds, hush money for backup cast chats about which video to conceal. One message said pay her $1,500. Tell her it was a reimbursement for clothes. Have her sign something so she can't speak. The courtroom spun, and then bam, the twist nobody anticipated coming. Turns out Yandy and Cameron had been teaming up for months, not only sharing notes, they were compiling a chronology, a digital forensic trail of every dodgy action Chrissy allegedly took from 2011 to the present. Twitter burst anew, hashtags flying like confetti. Yandy uncensored. Chrissy Gate, the genuine love and hip-hop strategic quiet. No more blogs uploaded side-by-side memes. Chrissy in court, hoodie up, head low. Yandy on the stand, pearls glittering stance like a CEO. TikTok broke. One person remarked, she didn't clap back. She held the whole thunderstorm for 10 years. Another Yandy brought out images as Marvel discloses post-credit sequences, and just when it looked like Chrissy couldn't sink further, the prosecution released the final audio file. Forensic validated a tape from 2019. Chrissy on the phone with the VH1 producer. If we leak anything about Jim being depressed, it will divert people. His mental health makes me seem like a saint. Stillness again. Even the judge took a long breath. The bailiff looked like he was going to tap out, but the final blow came from Jim, just when the world thought Jim came in court with his legal team by his side. No shackles, no chatter, just tired eyes and legal documents. When the judge asked if he wanted to speak, Jim rose, looked at Chrissy, and said, "I just want the record right. I didn't know." 4 words. Chrissy crumbled. She stood, mouthed something toward him. "Maybe, please." Jim shook his head and walked out again, and that clip spread everywhere. TikTok patched it, reels burst, Twitter named it the quietest mic drop in TV scandal ever. He wants to make sure nothing related to him gets drawn into litigation or criminal inquiries. He's done hiding her, and the Jim sent in a stack of information, including bank records, asset documents, property deeds, and a handwritten letter detailing years of alleged manipulation and financial abuse. One passage from the letter read, I didn't want to see it, but in retrospect, it wasn't love. It was survival for her. Chrissy didn't answer, didn't talk, didn't blink. She simply gazed at the floor, frozen in stillness, and the court didn't waste time. The judge slapped down the gavel and made it official. This court finds reasonable grounds to launch a criminal inquiry into charges of fraud, coercion, and financial wrongdoing. Lampkin is thus prohibited from travel and must surrender ownership of any current business accounts effective immediately. Just like that, her enterprises closed down. Her image shattered, the love tale of Chrissy and Jim dead and buried. And just when it appeared the tale was concluded, Mama Jones published a trailer, an actual teaser for her own docu-series. Opening line: "They attempted to delete me, but I kept everything." Cue the eerie music. The footage, grainy black and white glimpses of Chrissy. If this isn't the craziest, messiest, and most content-rich debacle in hip-hop reality TV history, I don't know what is. Chrissy's legal team is scurrying. The IRS is looking into it. And Mona Scott is purportedly pitching an already popular love and hip-hop spinoff. In group chats, love and lock up the Lampkin files, and guess who's reported to narrate it? Yandy Smith. So that's it. From manufactured stories to hidden wire transfers, burner phones to blackmail, the Chrissy and Jim tale didn't simply stop. Exploded, and now the aftermath belongs to federal bloggers, subpoenas, and a public that has no mercy left. But here's the real question. Was this really love? Or was Chrissy merely building her own dream, one red carpet and phony proposal at a time? Do you believe Jim was deceived and misled? Or is this just a nasty separation dressed up as a Netflix thriller? What about Yandy, the truth teller with receipts, or the chess player with drop your uncensored takes at the comments? Let it fly. Who's real, who's fake, who comes next? Because if you're already a member of the jury. Hit it as if your jaw is still on the floor. Slam that subscribe button. You want front row seats for the upcoming explode, and switch on them. Alerts because of the next leak. Hits that you will not want to hear. Secondhand, this is not only a controversy. It's battle, receipts, and reality. TV turned courtroom confession. Stay ready, remain ruthless, and we'll see you the next exposure. What comes next?